Welcome back to L Rated, where I bring you the best, the worst, and the downright insane that Hollywood has to offer. And today we're talking about The Monkey, a Stephen King adaptation that fully embraces gory, over the top 80s horror madness. Now, after watching the movie, I went back and read King's original short story, and let me tell you, this movie takes a lot of liberties. The deaths, completely different. The ending, nowhere near the same. And honestly, I think the movie actually improved on the short story. Even King himself took to threads and called the film batshit insane, and if the master of horror himself says that with admiration, you know this is going to be wild. So, let's get into it. The story kicks off when twin brothers Hal and Bill are just kids, and their dad tries to get rid of a creepy drum playing monkey by dumping it at a pawn shop. But the second the monkey starts playing,
Boom.
pawn shop owner drops dead. Panicked, their dad abandons the family, leaving Hal and Bill with their mom. She tells them their dad was an airline pilot who collected objects from all over the world, and one of those objects was the monkey. One day, the twins find the monkey in a box labeled like life, and being kids, what do? They turn the key, and just like that, the horror begins. Their babysitter dies immediately, and more people around them start dropping like flies. At this point, the deaths are happening fast and brutally, and the brothers know they have to get rid of it. They throw the monkey down a well, and just like that, it's gone. Or so they think. If you've read the short story, you know the deaths in King's version are subtle, almost all natural causes, heart attacks, accidents that could be explained away. The movie? The movie cranks the insanity up to 11. Every death is brutal, excessive, and drenched in gore. Some are disturbing, while others are so over the top they're almost darkly comedic. It's full on 80s horror carnage. Think practical effects, exaggerated kills, and absolute chaos. And let's talk about the ending, because this is where the biggest shift happens. In King's short story, the monkey is dumped into a lake, disappearing forever. In the movie, Hal and his son make a different choice. That choice alone completely changes the story's message, leaning into the idea that death isn't something you can get rid of. It's something you have to accept. Now let's talk about what the monkey absolutely nails. First, Theo James delivers. He plays the twins as adults, and he does a fantastic job making them feel like two distinct people. Their relationship is full of tension, which adds to the emotional weight behind all the craziness. Second, the 80s horror aesthetic. This movie doesn't try to be slow burn psychological horror, it fully embraces bold, chaotic, and bloody horror. If you love practical effects, creative kills, and a little bit of madness, this delivers. Third, the carnage. Some deaths are genuinely disturbing, but others are so outrageous that they border on dark comedy. It's unpredictable, intense, and keeps you on edge. But here's where things get tricky. This movie leans way more into comedy than horror. At times, the humor works perfectly, adding a self-aware, campy charm that fits the throwback style. But there are moments where it completely overpowers the horror, making it hard to take anything seriously. It's a weird balance. If you go in expecting pure horror, you might be thrown off. But if you're into wild, chaotic horror with a dark sense of humor, you'll probably have a blast. And let's be real, James Wan is involved, so you already know what's happening next. This movie leaves the door wide open for a sequel, and if there's one thing Wan does, it's milk his franchises for all they're worth. Whether we actually need The Monkey 2, that's up for debate, but it's definitely coming. Also, one of the biggest takeaways from The Monkey is its central theme: death is inevitable. The movie doesn't treat death as something you can outrun or prevent. Instead, it leans into the idea that it's always there, waiting. The box the monkey comes in even has the phrase like life written on it, which feels like a direct message. Life, like the monkey, keeps going no matter what. One of the last conversations in the movie drives this home. Instead of trying to hide or destroy the monkey, Hal makes a chilling decision. They keep it. It's not about escaping death, because you can't. It's about accepting that it will come, one way or another. It's a bleak message, but it fits perfectly with the film's chaotic, unpredictable tone. Death is inevitable. It's just a question of how it happens. So, is The Monkey worth watching? If you're looking for a terrifying, slow-burn Stephen King horror movie, this isn't that. But if you love gory, chaotic, over-the-top horror with 80s energy and a wild sense of humor, you're going to have a good time. And honestly, I think the movie improves on the short story. The original had an interesting concept, but it felt a little too restrained. The movie takes that concept and dials it up to something unforgettable. That's it for today's review on L Rated. Have you seen The Monkey? What did you think? Was it an improvement on the short story, or did it go too far? Let's talk about it in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a review. Until next time, whether it's fate, horror, or pure chaos, some things just can't be stopped. So stay rated.